When you think about building your business, what you're trying to do is get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that is no easier way than in person. The idea is that you need to boil your entire talk down into one main idea. Now, you're going to have subpoints and action steps for sure, but there needs to be one main idea where if I said, hey, Don, what is that talk about? You could tell me in one line what that talk is about. So if you said, Christy, what is your fear talk about? Do it scared. Think about the lead magnet you're going to offer and build your talk around that. You don't want to spend an hour talking about apples and go, and I have a lead magnet about oranges. You didn't set up oranges. You set up apples.
Yeah.
So you need to have a lead magnet that is a perfect fit for whatever the content is. So you build your content around that lead magnet where it sets that lead magnet up as the obvious solution to whatever you're building out in this talk.
I want to talk now about why you should build a stage presence, why you should start speaking, give keynote speech. It's been a massive part of my career. It's going to really help you grow your coaching career. Probably something you never thought of, but we have our world's expert on this is Christy Wright. You've been on hundreds of stages, maybe thousands of stages in front of millions of people, and you love giving people help on how to give better presentations, how to speak. Let me just ask you, first of all, why should a coach actually add a keynote speech and start doing breakout sessions, things like this, webinars? Why should they add that to their armory, if you will?
Well, it's such an easy win, Don. And you know this because you've been on stages as well. It's such an easy win. When you think about building your business, what you're trying to do is get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that is no easier way than in person. When you're in person and you are telling a story and you're making them laugh and you're having moments and you add value in person, that energy is electric, even if it's online and it's virtual like this. The connection point is better than an email. It's better than any type of, even a course where it's not live. That connection point is so powerful. And so it's a great way to build your business where you're getting people into your funnel. They get to know you. You're branded as an expert in that space. It's also just gives you credibility and authority. It's a great way to get your message out there and add value where people are going, oh, they really know their stuff. Maybe I should sign up for their program, sign up for their course, sign up and take the next step with them. It's such an easy entry point.
I want to make sure to ask you how you get email addresses from that audience. I want to camp on that though, because I want to talk about how you actually give a good speech. Let's say that somebody's out there saying, I don't know, this is a little bit nerve-wracking. They don't have anything booked yet. If you don't have anything booked, I would say just start working on that actual keynote presentation. What are you going to talk about? What advice do you give people who say, I don't have anything yet, starting from scratch, starting from zero?
Yes. Okay. So one of the top mistakes that speakers make, even seasoned speakers, is they try to cram too many ideas into a talk.
Yes.
And you know this. You've seen it. You've probably done it. I've done it. I've definitely
I've got a great
done it.
story about falling on my face from trying to say everything.
And all we do is just speed up because we're running out of time because we just have more to say.
This, and this. By the way, sub-point 3 of this particular
and I'm wrapping
point.
it up. And for my next close. And for my, no, listen. Okay. Your audience can't remember 17 things. They can't remember 7 things. They can remember 1 thing. Now, I've got to give credit. I learned this concept from Andy Stanley's book, Communicating for a Change, which is a brilliant communicating book. The idea is that you need to boil your entire talk down into one main idea. Now, you're going to have subpoints and action steps for sure, but there needs to be one main idea where if I said, hey, Don, what is that talk about? You could tell me in one line what that talk is about. So if you said, Christy, what is your fear talk about? Do it scared. When you think about building your business, what you're trying to do is get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that is no easier way than in person. What's the one controlling idea that more or less acts as the filter that you're going to use? Hey everybody, I'm interrupting this video because my book Coach Builder is out. If you are a coach or you want to be a coach and you're trying to grow a coaching business, this is the book you actually want. It is available right now on Amazon.com. It's got 8 steps that are going to help you grow a coaching business. And in the book, I've got some really valuable stuff for you, including sample websites from coaches that really work, things that you should be doing on your website as a coach. Also, emails that you can just cut and paste and send to clients in order to close the deal. If you're looking to grow a coaching business, make sure to grab the book Coach Builder on Amazon today. And thank you in advance. I really hope it helps you. Anything else that could help somebody get going if they're just trying to plan that talk? Yeah, I think one of the things that is really intimidating to people when it comes to speaking, especially for people that don't identify as speakers, maybe coaches, for example, they're like, oh, I'm not a speaker. Okay, you are a speaker. You actually speak all the time. One of the things that can really help them when they get intimidated by the idea of preparation and memorization. So I want to give you credit here because you have led the charge on story brand and story arcs and how powerful that is in marketing and business. So one of the things that I'd love to help people do is I love to help them craft their keynote, and this could be a 20-minute or an hour, hour and a half, it doesn't matter, craft it in a story arc. And why this is so helpful is it not only then creates a message in the format that your audience's brain already understands, which is story. Their brain understands a story arc, but it helps you remember it. You're not so reliant on your notes and having to read it, oh, I lost my place and now I'm feeling nervous and the person didn't keep up with me on the confidence monitor. Instead, you're gonna start with setting up the problem that you're about to solve, because people don't care unless you're about to solve a problem for them, which is part of the conflict in the story, right? Yep. So you've got a problem. You deliver the solution, which is probably your thesis statement, your one main idea.
Yep.
And then you apply it. That's the action. How do I apply what I've learned? So you give them this story arc of problem, solution, action. When you're on stage and you're unpacking the problem and you've really connected with them, isn't it frustrating when you feel out of balance and you never have enough time and you always feel guilty and you're always juggling things and they're going, yeah. What's the next logical thing? Well, now we're going to talk about the solution.
Right.
So what you need to do instead is life balance is living from your values. Well, after you unpack your solution, they're like, yeah, that is what I need. The next logical thing is, well, how do I do that? Well, here's what you do. Here's your 3 steps to create balance. Problem, solution, action. It's a basic story arc. It's what we have used to communicate since the history of time, but it also helps new speakers and especially new communicators not get so worried about their notes, because what comes next is what would logically come next in a story.
Okay, a lot of people just getting started in business coaching. They're pivoting their career, Christy. They're pastors, they're executives, they're whatever they are, and they're deciding, 50 years old, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Give them some encouragement. Why should they become a coach? What happens to you in your life if you just become a coach?
Well, so I became a certified business coach about 14 years ago, and I think it is so gratifying to work one-on-one because you get to see the actual impact of the value you're adding. When we do a podcast, when we write a book, we don't always necessarily get to see it. You may see reviews, you may get stories, but for the most part, it's to the masses and it's not personal.
Somebody will just come and say, thanks.
Right.
You're welcome.
Or
I don't know what we're thanks about.
I bought your book and I never read it. Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
But you're getting this personal connection where you're watching the life change happen. And I think that is so rewarding, especially for someone, that maybe has either been burnt out in their career or they didn't feel like they were really valued. When you're getting that personal connection, it makes a huge impact in your life. And coaching is one of those things that there's tons of variety because every client is different. Every story is different. Every problem you're trying to solve is different. And so it makes it fun. It keeps it interesting.
Can you give me 3 pieces of advice for coaches to grow their coaching business? I know that's a big ask on the spur of the moment, but you probably have 20.
Yeah.
Can you give me just 3 that come to the top of your head?
Let's go through the stages of coaching, because if someone is watching right now and they don't have a single client, they're going, where do I start?
Exactly.
You start with your network of who you currently have. So here's what that looks like. It means you're going to write a personal email to family and friends, every contact that you have. It could be a Facebook post or an email, and you're just going to share your heart. Hey, here's what I've been wanting to do. Excuse me. Here's what I've been wanting to do. Here's the transition I'm making. I'm now offering this type of coaching. Here's how you can sign up. If you or anyone you know, I would love to work with them and set up a discovery call. So you literally start with your contacts.
People who know you.
Because that's a great.
I know a guy, Chad. You know Chad.
Yep.
Chad sent out that email and could not send out another email.
That's right.
It was done.
That's right.
He was just booked.
That's right. And most people are scared to send that email.
Yeah.
So you have to have the courage to send that email and put yourself out there to your family and friends that know you and tell them you're doing this. From there, after that, you'll probably get some clients. Once you get some clients from that initial email and request or Facebook post or so on, then you really incentivize referrals. Because once you've added value, no one is a better marketer for you than someone that has been helped by you.
Yeah,
so you incentivize it, hey, get a free session, or hey, get a whatever the carrot is.
So to the person who refers, you can offer something.
Yes.
You might even have like a big referral luncheon once a year. If you've referred me, it's the only way to get in to hear this speaker.
Yes, exactly.
That's brilliant.
So I'm literally doing this right now, just so people know I'm not just making this up. I started a coaching group in January called the Goal Getters Club. I had 180 people join the first month. My strategy for month 2 is not to do another launch. It's to incentivize those 180 to go get more people. Wow. So I'm doing a referral program to get them out to go get people.
What do they get? I'm just curious.
They get a free month for every person that they bring in that stays 3 months.
Oh,
so they could get a free year if they invite 12 people. Yeah. It's a great incentive for them to get free coaching. And because I have my old Business Boutique Academy group, which had thousands of people, there's a pool of people that would want coaching from me. They may just not know I'm doing it.
Right.
So you first you start with family and friends, then you do referrals. From referrals, from there, you want to build up so much of a demand that you have a wait list. And ideally, when you have a wait list, then you're ready for group coaching or courses or scaling from that point, once you've got the demand there.
That's absolutely brilliant.
everybody watching needs to get leads into their CRM. They need to get leads into their database. What are some strategies that you have used while you're giving a speech to get some of those email addresses and contact information there in the audience?
Yes. Okay. So I love this question because this can truly change their entire business. What I think is really, really important is this. Number one, think about the lead magnet you're going to offer and build your talk around that. You don't want to spend an hour talking about apples and go, and I have a lead magnet about oranges. You didn't set up oranges. You set up apples. So you need to have a lead magnet that is a perfect fit for whatever the content is. So you build your content around that lead magnet where it sets that lead magnet up as the obvious solution to whatever you're building out in this talk. And you want to put it in the talk where it is the most logical, not at the end. At the end, everyone is expecting a pitch. Everyone is going to the bathroom. Everyone is checking their phone. Everyone is thinking about traffic. Don't put it at the end.
That is great advice.
So let me give you an example. Back in the day at Business Boutique, I would teach for 3 days in the 3-day event. And I had multiple sessions, a marketing session, a money session, a life balance session, and so on. In my money session, the lead magnet I had at the time, I don't have it anymore, unfortunately, but at the time I did, was a tool called the Profit Potential Tool. It's where you can plug in the numbers and see how you could change numbers and increase your profitability in your business. For starters and side gigs, this is a great tool to be able to see how it can make more money. Really simple. So I write the talk. When I get to the point in the talk where I'm like, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers. This is the report card of your business. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know how you're doing. Sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Because, it's like we've got all these different receipts. It's hard to keep straight. How much do I charge? I actually created a tool for you. And then I pitched the tool. In the middle of the talk, if you pull out your phone right now, you can text in profit potential 2, 3, whatever the thing was. Everybody in the room pulls out their phone. Because it's the solution that's going to help them do the thing I'm teaching them to do.
Brilliant. That is really brilliant.
Don't wait till the end. They're going to the bathroom, and don't pitch a lead magnet that is not an obvious connection point to what you've just talked about. If you do those two things, your conversion rate will shoot through the roof.
It's funny. Juliette Font is a friend. Have you ever spent time with Juliette?
No, but I know the name.
Yeah, so we were at something and we were just talking, having lunch. She was speaking after lunch, and we started talking about this. I don't even know how it came up, but she said, I get about 95% of the audience to give me their email address. And I was like, Juliet, how are you getting 95% of that audience? She goes, just watch. So she, there's like 200 people in the room. She gets up, she gives a talk. She says, by the way, I have this resource for you. Everybody pull out your phone. Everybody pulls out their phone. She goes, show me your phone.
That's right.
Show your phone. And then she goes, okay, I want you to text such and such. You're going to get an image is going to pop up when you do that. So show me the image. And I'm like, that's how she did it. And it was right in the middle of the talk.
That's right.
Yeah, I also found that if you repeat the lead magnet, if you bake it into the middle, and then you repeat it at the end, I've not done as good a job as you're talking about in terms of making it the solution to a problem right there in the middle of the talk. That's brilliant. But if you actually repeat it again at the end, I see leads go up.
But what's interesting that you're talking about that she just did? It's what you teach even in your marketing, because you teach them, tell them how to do business with you. Click here,
tell them
sign
exactly
up.
what to do and they will do it.
You have to tell them, because if not, we all often assume, well, they're going to know what to do. They don't, and they won't. They're tired, they're stressed, they're overwhelmed. I love that. Take out your phone.
Take your phone. Show me.
Show me.
I mean, who's going to sit there and be like this? Lady on stage telling me to show me.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
What do you do when somebody is just really nervous? I know you've got a whole talk about doing it scared, right?
Yeah.
What do you do when somebody's nervous and they do want to do this, they're willing to do it, but they are afraid?
Okay. This advice is going to seem simple, and it's going to seem maybe even, maybe controversial. It goes against some of the vulnerability of Brene Brown. So one of the things that is just a principle for me as a speaker is every single thing I do on stage, I want to be for the benefit of the audience.
Yeah.
And so if something does not benefit the audience, I'm not going to do it, even if it means me maybe faking it a little bit. So I tell people all the time, fake it until you feel it. Even if you don't feel confident, you can act confident. And after acting it for a while, you're literally acting like an actor or actress. After a while of faking it, you actually begin to feel authentic confidence because you have proof and experience now to stand on. So the first time I walked on a stage, I was scared out of my mind. My very first audience was 1,000 people. I was 26 years old. I had no right to be there. I don't even know how I got there. But I did not walk on stage and go, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Sorry, just give me a second.
Because then the audience gets nervous and they're so uncomfortable.
Everyone uncomfortable.
Right.
You've made everyone uncomfortable, and you have shot any chance of ever getting them back or having confidence. So instead, what I did is I walked on stage and said, hey guys, I am so excited to be here. We're going to have an incredible day. So first, I just acted it.
Yeah.
And then the second one was easier, and the third one was easier. Now when I walk on stage and I say, hey, I'm so excited to be here, I mean it, and I'm totally confident. but I didn't feel it at first. So you really can fake it until you feel it. And I know that sounds maybe inauthentic, but the reality is you're trying to add value to the audience, because it wouldn't benefit the audience to share something that doesn't benefit them. So I think that you fake it, you fake that confidence. And I've even had some of my coaching clients tell me they've used this in networking events. They walk into a room, they're feeling really nervous, and they just act confident. They're like, hey, how you doing? Hey, my name's John. Hey. And it works. And over time, it's like, I actually feel confident.
And
you
I
can
don't even
act
know
the way
that
you want to
it's
feel.
faking it as much as it is rising to the moment.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Or just being, even if you're just one-on-one with somebody that you have to apologize to.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it,
Right,
but
right.
you need to just get up there and do it.
Right.
And I think that's part of it, is you just got to get up there and do it.
Well, totally. But it's interesting. There's psychology research that even backs this up, where you can act the way you want to feel and your feelings will follow. So sometimes we think we have to feel a certain way, I have to feel confident before I can act confident. The reverse is also true. And I've done, I know this is a weird example, but I've done this even when I've come home from work one day, for example, and I'm in a really bad mood, something bad happened that day, and I don't want to take it out on my kids. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a reset. I'm going to come in the door, and I'm just going to act happy. And after a couple minutes, I actually feel happy. I've kind of forgotten whatever I was mad about. I'm playing with my kids. And
Christy, I have admired you for so long. You are such a fantastic speaker. And I'm so excited about all the stuff that you're doing next. If people want to know more, ChristyWright.com.
Yes.
And we should spell it out. Christy.
Yes.
WRIGHT.
Get out your phones. ChristyWright.com. Yeah.
Point your phone at your computer screen.
We're going to check on you.
So ChristyWright.com. And you've got some resources there. A lot of resources, but also specific resources about speaking. Can you tell us what one of them is?
Yeah. Speaking of, ChristyWright.com/starter kit.
Gotcha.
You can get all of my templates to start your speaking business. So that's really going to help you in terms of an advancement form. You know this, a client call. What do I ask the client to know what their audience is like? It's going to show you even what to put on your landing page. For example, I recommend you don't put your speaking fee on your landing page. You get them to tell you your budget so you can negotiate. There's a lot of tips in there and templates. So if you go to ChristyWright.com/starter kit, then you can get those templates and start building your speaking business.
Sounds great. It may sound like really foreign right now or really scary, but I hope we've planted a seed that you someday will be on a stage giving a speech. It is a fantastic way, especially if you're just a solo coach, or maybe you have a small agency with a couple coaches on your staff. You can fill up your wait list even super, super fast just by having a stage strategy. Not only that, we didn't even talk about this. So much of the material that I teach or I write in books, I test on stages.
1,000%. And we talked about this even when you launched StoryBrand, because I started Business Boutique as an event. And so I was able to put that content out there, test that content, see what connected. So when Business Boutique, the book came out, people came through my signing line and they didn't say, what is this book? Will it help me? They said, thank God this book is here.
Yeah,
and the same was true for you.
I'm so glad you wrote it down.
I remember you telling me.
It was years that I was teaching StoryBrand and doing workshops before it ever became a book.
That's right.
And I think it's a better book because of that.
1,000%. It clarifies the content. It helps you know, and it gives you stories to tell in the content. It makes it better. Yeah, makes it better overall.
The other thing is, in that talk about how you helped a client with X, and just watch. There'll be 3 people at the back of the room saying, I'm dealing with the same thing. How do I hire you?
That's right. That's right.
So
Give those testimonials. Yeah.
Christy, thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is so
Thanks for blessing our
fun. Yeah.
audience.
Thanks, guys.